I saw a girl holding a baby, and I was like, wow, I've gotten old. She is way too young to have a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And then she started breastfeeding. I was like, nah, she's not too old.
All right, so I definitely saw some of this before. I definitely saw Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura being absolute perverts. I knew this was coming. They're getting into their creepy old man age. They've been married too long. They've both been acting like this a little bit more subtly before, and it's just coming to the limelight now. I didn't know anything about Bert and his wife sleeping in separate wings of the house. I would imagine something similar is happening with Segura. Hard to say, but too lazy to try, man. What's he got to say about this?
I watched her breastfeed.
Oh my God. I'm glad you only saved that for me. Nobody else will find
put
out.
Sunglasses on. I was like, she's not too old. She's got to be at least 20, right? 25, 26.
How was that session? Was it cool?
It was weird. It was weird because everyone watched her breastfeed. Like when you breastfeed like that, everyone watches.
All right, so Bert Kreischer continues to get more depraved each podcast, and it's getting bad. I mean, if you remember last time I talked about Bert, he was contemplating becoming an OnlyFans pimp after being inspired by Jack Doherty. You know, this 50-year-old man with a wife and 2 daughters got inspired by Jack Doherty to try to start pimping out girls on OnlyFans. That's really what Bert is up to now, and Tom, he's totally down with it. You know, he's just thinking about the money, and it sounds like Bert's going to do all the work for him. Like, he's really...
See, I told you. Even the way the Too Lazy had worded that, he said he's only getting more and more depraved. That's because this isn't his first, time diving into this part of the pool that is a degenerate. Okay, he's already been an alcoholic. He's been swimming in this pool for a while. He just hasn't dove into this end. Now he has. He's full-blown letting everybody know, hey, I'm gross, dude. If you didn't already think he was gross, well, here you go, dude. Not only is he a alcoholic slob, he is willing to pimp a girl that is his daughter's age. I mean, what are we doing?
He's really excited about this, but Tom might need to tell him to chill a little bit because he gets a little too excited. He gets really worked up on this podcast. I mean, he started this episode watching VR porn, and then he mentions how he wants a sex robot that looks like a comedian he knows.
Look, the fucked up thing is, Tom isn't going to stop it. Tom is the guy who pushes the friend to fall out of his desk in the middle of class during a test. That's what he does. Tom's that type of guy. And he's living vicariously through Bert. A lot of the same things that Bert is interested in doing and the things he acts out is certainly something that Tom would be doing himself. If not for Bert sort of being his Tyler Durden, if you will.
And then he admits he watched a girl breastfeed the other day. And I bet you'd defend this by saying he's scouting for talent or he's brainstorming or something. Like, that's how far gone he is. Like, he also claims he watches adult content to come up with comedy material.
All right, I'm going to put her to sleep.
Okay.
Dude, I'm ready for a fucking robot chick.
Yeah, they're available, man. You can afford it. You should do it.
Dude, you can design them. They're $3,000. Should we make one? Should we make one and fucking bring it? Let's make 2.
Feels like... Oh, okay.
Would it be creepy if we made them and we made them look like people we know?
Look, there's nothing more absurd to me than the fact that there are these comedy podcasts that exist that sort of eventually cover the same topics in the same weeks. And they're not even covering, like, current events, per se. They just all end up going the same exact direction. It's very secular, okay? And it's kind of sad at this point. It's hard to watch. And it's a lot of these guys that are making so much money on podcasting that it becomes this, hey, we're going to record 4 episodes in a day type shit, instead of actually doing it week to week. And I notice it more because I go back to podcasts like Chubby Behemoth with Sam Talent, Nathan Lund. These are 2 guys that have been doing the same podcast for years, and even through all the improvements, getting better equipment, recording more often, posting videos on YouTube, they still don't have a massive following. And every episode, it is not ever this. Like, as funny as they are as comedians, they still don't have to resort to just talking about sex. or sex things or how depraved they are. Isn't that weird? Like, there's many podcasts that are like that don't have to do this level of comedy. That's what bothers me. It's like you guys are sitting so high up on a pedestal, you've run out of material. You became so out of touch, the only thing you can talk about or think to relate to is fucking. Like, what?
Yeah, that'd be super creepy.
And you're like, Sarah Tiana, come over to my house. I want you to meet my robot chick. And she's like, wow. And go, look, it's got a southern accent and everything. She's like,
that's really cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
But wait, why is she pregnant? And I was like, I don't know. I liked her better when she was pregnant.
This is a really good idea for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is.
Shout out to Sarah T.
That is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Thrilled. Yeah.
And I saw a girl holding a baby, and I watched her breastfeed.
Oh my God.
It ruined me, but half the time I look at, I'm looking for a joke. I'm looking for a joke about.
What does that even mean?
Oh, right.
Like I'm not looking for the real thing. And then if I see something that I.
Also, in what public is Bert going to where he can just stare at somebody for any amount of time without them, recognizing him, or them just being in a public place doing this type of thing, and there's a creepy man standing there? At some point, you'll be alert. Right? Like, at some point, this guy's fucking dressed like an idiot, probably smells, he's got a dirty beard, nasty teeth, and he's staring at you from across the park like the fucking Christopher Lloyd character in Dennis the Menace, and you're not gonna, feel some sort of eyes watching you, even if it isn't a famous guy. Like, fucking what? Get out of here, bro.
That I don't
and then
recognize.
Your dick happens to get hard, and you're like, I guess I should tug on it.
If I see something I don't recognize, where I'm like, wait, what's that?
What's that? Yeah, that's fun.
That's
fun.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah, so could you imagine Bert's poor wife? I mean, this dude is out of control. He just admitted he wants a pregnant sex robot that looks like a comedian friend, and now he's trying to become a pimp. And his wife already had to call him out a couple of years ago because he kept subscribing to girls' OnlyFans, and he would pretend like he just was doing it to be supportive. And he acted like he was surprised that his wife found it creepy, and he was shocked that she was upset about it. So now that he's trying to pimp out OnlyFans girls, I can't imagine she's handling it well.
So is that?
Yeah, I mean, this is just a common theme with these guys. This depraved, I have no reason to be committed, I've made all the money we could possibly need type of shit. I mean, go to somebody who's even more famous and richer and wealthier than old Bert Kreischer, right? Joe Rogan. Okay? And one thing we know for certain with that is not only does he rarely mention his family to any degree, and I get that, have some sort of anonymity in that area, but at the same time, this is a guy who, 6 years ago was talking about, maybe it's longer than that because, time flies by when you're having fun. We're all older than we expected to be at this moment, but you have to imagine that at a certain point, a guy who's saying, yeah, I'll never get married because I'm not stupid, who ends up in a marriage, there's probably some sort of contract, dude. It's not just some sort of, hey, we've been together for this long and that's how it's going to be. It's like, no, we've made it to a certain level where we could invite people in and nobody know about it. Right? We got people signing NDAs at the front door. Right next to the pineapple. If you know what I'm talking about.
Are you an OnlyFans guy?
No, I was, and then I found out it was creepy to be an OnlyFans guy.
Why?
Because I was doing it like I would sign up for people's OnlyFans. If I met them and I have an OnlyFans, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'll sign up for it, and then get in the car. I got get in the car. It was the first one I did.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I met her. She's cool. Valerie's her name.
Look, Netflix can keep going up in price, and I'm gonna pay it every time. But the prices of these OnlyFans, there is no amount of content on there that is worth that. You're paying $50 a month, $100 a month, $80 a month for some pictures of what? Feet, guys? Huh? It's just out of this world strange.
Name. And she's a cool person. I was like, yeah, I'll sign up for OnlyFans. And then I got in the car with Leanne.
And that is Bert saying, yeah, I'll sign up for her OnlyFans, as in, I'll throw $60 a month down the drain for nothing, right? Stuff I'm never looking at.
She met her at the Greek, and I said, she goes, so what does she do? And I said, she got an OnlyFans. She make good money on her OnlyFans. And Leanne's like, what's that? I was like, here, I'll show you. Leanne's like, oh my God, you look at her naked? And I was like, that's what her OnlyFans is. And she was like, oh, you're buying her porn? And I went, no, it's OnlyFans. And she's like, Bert, you're buying, but she...
Once again, this is where it gets to be beyond a joke. It's like, you can't possibly be that fucking stupid to not only think that makes sense, but to think that somebody would actually fall for your nonsense. Someone's gonna believe that? Your wife? She's meant to believe that, oh yeah, you had no idea. Yeah, she just does a picture. She sells the naked pictures, it's like a National Geographic, right?
She knows. Does she know that you're looking at her naked? And I go, I
it's
think she does.
educational.
She goes, and then you just hang out with her, but you look at her naked? And I go, I don't. She goes, you talk to her husband. And I was like, well, is this wrong? And then I feel like weird that I'm on their own.
Right. Is this wrong? Bert Kreischer has no fucking idea. Either way, guys, go check out this video. Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura are shameless and perverted. Too lazy to try. I'm sure you guys have already watched it. I probably already have myself, but who knows? Everybody was kind of talking about this. Bert and Tom being perverted, wanting to be pimps. Wild behavior. But don't forget to subscribe, like, all that other good stuff. And until the next one.